Hello, welcome back. In this one, we're going to make the targets that we had in the last game move around and just make some improvements. So we're basically finishing the game off and making it a little bit cooler than it was previously because, let's face it, the game kind of sucked. But it's really not even about the game. It's about just helping you guys to learn. And at the end of this video, you're going to know more than you did when you came in. So that's the main thing. So we're going to start off in the target actor here. If we go to target.cpp, we're just going to add some functionality to make the targets move. And the way that I want to do this is I want the targets to move in a totally random direction. So there's going to be a little bit of math here. I promise it's really not going to be anything too bad. But yeah, we'll start off in target.h. And down here in the protected section, I'm just going to add a vector called move direction. So this is the direction that the target needs to move in. And on begin play, we're going to set that value to fmath vrand. So what vrand does is it will give you a random unit vector. And if this doesn't make any sense to you, that's fine. Basically, it's literally a vector that points in a random direction. And that's all we need. We just need some direction for the target to move in. So that's all that does. Just gets a random direction, basically. And the next thing to do is we're going to work inside of tick. So what we want to do is we want to get the time in seconds and add the delta time to that and feed that into sine. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a maths function called sine. And we can use this to get a value that oscillates between 1 and -1. And the reason that's useful is because we can then feed that into the position of the target. And by doing that, we can get it to move backwards and forwards, basically. So we're going to do that. So this value, we can then use that to get a direction to move in. So I'm going to say f vector move delta equals move direction multiplied by that. And then we're going to multiply that by something that we'll call move scale. And that's just going to be the scale to move by. So this will move the actor 1 unit in a given direction, but that's a really small movement, right? We want to move a little bit more than that. So we're going to have this thing called move scale. So what we'll do is we'll come down here and say float move scale. And I'm going to actually make this a U property. And I'm going to say edit anywhere. And I'll give it a category of movement. So once we're back inside of the Unreal Editor, we'll be able to change this value. But I'm going to give it a default value of 200. So what it's going to do is it's going to move 200 units in this random direction that we've generated here. And then it's going to move back 200 units. And it's just going to go back and forth and back and forth. So that's our move delta. And then all we really need to do is add actor world offset and then move delta. So that's the direction to move in. And then there's actually this thing here, ball sweep equals false. So if we do true for this, this is a feature built into Unreal Engine. And what it's going to do is it's going to try to move the actor in this direction, right? But if it hits a wall or if it hits some sort of object, it'll just stop the movement short of that object. So what that's going to mean is that our targets aren't going to be able to go through walls, because that obviously would look really bad if it did that. And as you can see, it compiled just fine. So if you get a little red squiggly line, just ignore that. So that should actually be all we need to get this going. So just to recap, because I did move quite fast there, by getting the time seconds and adding the time since the last frame onto it and then subtracting that from the time seconds, we can get a value that moves between -1 and 1. We then multiply that value by the move direction, so this is just some random direction. And then we finally multiply that by 200, or whatever we set this value to, right? And then we add that little offset to the actor. And by doing that, it's going to cause the actor to go backwards and forwards. And you'll see this better when we actually go into the engine. Okay, so you might have spotted what I did wrong, but it was essentially just that C++ was doing the calculations in the wrong order. So what you need to do is literally just put a bracket there and put brackets around this, like that, because we want it to do this calculation first, and then do that bit, and then do the move scale at the end. And so that's all that it was doing. It was just calculating stuff in the wrong order and giving us a really wacky value. But if we jump into the editor now, it'll work perfectly. Alright, so check this out. We're going to take the BP target, drag it into the level, and now when I hit simulate, if you go down and click on simulate there, you can see that it is moving backwards and forwards. If I play it again, you can see now it's moving this way. So every single time that I play the game, it's going to get a new random direction. And we also, if I click on the target here, it has the move scale, so I can change this to something like 1000 if I want. And now the target is going to move a little bit more aggressively. So you can see it moves further. And you can set that to whatever you want. And because I used sweep, what it's going to do is if it hits something, it's going to basically stop short of what it hits and readjust its position, which is really handy. Notice that it collided with the ground, and now it's going to go back up, and this time it won't collide with the ground anymore. And that's because we used the sweep, which basically just said, hey, if we're trying to move somewhere, but there's an object blocking our path, simply just move the object to the where it would collide, basically. So that is the moving targets. So that's a good start. We got those, and now we can move on to the next step. Okay, so previously in the last video, when you shot a target, the ball or the bullet would just stick to the target. But what I want the target to do is to be destroyed. So basically when we hit the target, get rid of it. So what I'm going to do is come down here and I'm going to say target, destroy. So what that's going to do is when the bullet hits something, check if it's a target. We already did this in the last video, tell the game mode. And then simply just destroy the target. So that'll get rid of the target this time. And if we had like some particle systems, we could make the targets explode. And I might even do something like that before the end of the video. But that's a pretty good start. So let's go back into the editor. And I'm going to improve the sphere pawn as well, because I don't really like the camera rotation right now. It's a bit weird. So let's go into the sphere pawn here. We'll just open it up. And we could adjust the position of the camera in C++. But there's really no point. It's super easy to do in Blueprints, so why not? So, well, no, it's not even Blueprints, but just in the editor. So if we click on the camera arm, you can see that we have something here called the target offset. If I just move this value up, you'll notice that that moves the camera up as well. And you can change this target offset value from C++ if you want as well. You could do that in the constructor. So I'm just going to make that 150, and then I'm going to click on the camera. And if you press E, you can actually rotate the camera. And I'm going to rotate it so it's just angled forward a little bit. So what that should do is if I play in the game, I'm just going to drag my guy into the level here and type in possess. And just do our little hack where we possess him. Now you can see that the camera is just angled a little bit more above the player. It's got a little bit of a better angle going on. So let's try drag some of these targets in. I'm going to drag another 5 targets in. And so this time you can't just shoot the same target 5 times because they destroy when we hit them. So if we hit a target, it will remove itself from the level. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. Oh my god, my aim is so bad. Okay, so one other issue that's happening is the bullets are just staying in place because the projectile movement component is programmed so that when they hit something, it'll stop the movement straight away. So the easiest way around that, I mean, all we have to do to fix that is just to go into our code. Let's go into the bullet, and literally right under where it says target destroy, just type destroy. So this is going to destroy the bullet. It's going to destroy the target first, and then it's going to destroy the bullet. Destroy will not actually destroy the actor straight away. It will just mark it to be destroyed. Okay, so one more feature that I'm going to add as well is just replace the previous log statements inside of ultimate.gamemode.cbp with what I have here. This add on-screen debug message thing. I've simply just added a feature where it'll tell you how long it took to win the game. So then there's kind of at least some sort of like time race to it. Okay, so I've dragged a bunch of targets into the level, and I've just done the same setup as I did before. And if you want, you can change the move scale, but I'm just going to leave it at the default of 200. And now if I hit play, we can shoot these guys. Everything disappears. And at the end of the game, it'll tell you exactly how many seconds it took you to win the game, which was 6.07 seconds. So there you have it. I just thought it would improve the game, make it a little bit nicer, and hopefully you learned a little bit along the way. So that's been this video. I have absolutely no clue what we're going to do in the next one, but we'll figure something out. Alright, see you guys later.